Hey, how's it going, you little catfish? This is Unknown Soldier, and I'm bringing you another bow gameplay. I end up going 66-4. Don't ask me how, just watch the video. A pro tip for you guys, right here at the beginning, I end up shooting a recon arrow down there. You can tag everyone on their team. You can find exactly which directions they're running, and I didn't take advantage of it. I think I got 2 kills to start out. I could have got more, I guess, but yeah, it's, I'm not sure if it works on the other side. You shooting up there, you might get, bounce it off a wall, get, be able to tag 1 or 2 people at the most. But I wasn't even sure how I got like the 66 kills. It just felt like another bow game, to me. I was just concentrated trying to hit my shots. I guess my kill streaks went pretty ham. My teammates weren't that great. Right here, I got killed by a kid with a rhino. Why do people use rhinos on this wide open map? It's like they can't use anything else, I guess. But anyways, in my last commentary that I put up, I talked a little bit about myself being in the military, and I'm not sure if you guys are interested, curious, what goes on in the military, how to get into the military, what happens during boot camp, what happens after boot camp, what you do through training and whatnot. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience so far. I'm pretty sure most of you guys aren't in the military. There might be a couple of you here and there, but even if you are, you're probably in a different branch. You might be serving in a different country, so your experience is probably not the same as mine. So I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about that. I'm not sure how many commentaries it's going to take. It might take, I'm not going to get through all of it in this, obviously. It might take 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. I'm not even sure, because I've been in for 2.5 years now, so there's a lot to talk about. But for right now, I'm going to talk about everything leading up to boot camp. I'm probably not going to get into, the first day. I'm going to talk about how to get into it, like what I ended up doing. My senior year in high school, I was kind of thinking in the future, thinking about what I was going to do after I graduated, and I didn't have anything lined up. I didn't have a job. I needed money for college and all that stuff, so I was thinking, what could we do? And you see all the advertisements on TV, like, join the military, get money for college. So I thought that's probably a really good idea. And my dad had served in the Navy for over 6 years, so I thought, I'll just follow my my parents' footsteps, serve my country, get money for college, and get a degree during that time. So me and my buddy, we were kind of in the same boat. So we both went talked to a recruiter together, and we decided that we were going to join the Air Force. But before we could join, we had to go through different processes and steps, and one of the steps was going to a place called MEPS, and we went to, we drove like an hour north of where I live to Detroit, and we stayed the night there, stayed at the hotel, and they had really strict policies, like you couldn't leave your room after 10 o'clock or else like you can't go, and which is kind of weird because it's just like a hotel, like what are you going to do? But, couldn't drink pop because they had like, do your bladder tests and all that. So I don't know why they had like a whole fridge full of pop for us, but they, people had told us don't drink the pop because they're trying to screw you over and make you fail, which doesn't make any sense, but that's how it was. So anyways, they picked us up in the morning, took us to MEPS, and basically there they just drug test you, make sure you don't have anything that can prevent you from serving. Make sure you're not flat-footed, because if you're flat-footed, you can't serve for some reason. They did an eyesight check, make sure you can see different colors and whatnot, and then they did the prostate check, which they bend you over, stick their fingers up your butts, and we're all sitting there in our underwear, kind of just really awkwardly looking at each other, like, hey, yeah, we're all naked together, what's up? So so we ended up being cleared to go, and we had to talk to our recruiter about what different jobs there were available, because you don't get to pick. You kind of do get to pick, but you don't really get to pick exactly what you want to go into. They let you choose depending on what they need at that current time. So they might have a different couple of jobs available at that time, but you can't pick exactly what you want to go into. But what was available for me at that time was it's called secret intelligence. There's probably a different name for it, I'm not sure, but it was secret intelligence. Like you had to have security clearance, and and I guess for that job, you weren't even allowed to talk to your supervisor about like your job. Like you got your paperwork, you were working like a secluded room, and like that's what you did. You didn't talk to anybody about what you did. So I needed to get security clearance, and I wasn't sure I was going to do that. But apparently, without me knowing, the Air Force hired a private investigator to go around and ask everyone that I knew stuff about me. Like, they drove to my friend's house that lived like 3 hours away from me, just to ask them, you know, about how I was as a kid, you know, because I hadn't talked to them in a while. But they asked them, you know, how I was, if they knew anything bad about me, anything that would, you know, compromise me serving. So, you know, they went around to my managers, my principal at you know, the two different schools that I went to, and, you know, they weren't able to dig anything up on me because, you know, I hide my tracks pretty well, guys. Just gonna say. but no, I haven't done anything in my life, so I knew I was good. You know, I told them. They were all worried about me, like, oh, hey, did you do anything wrong? Like, what's going on? Because they didn't know it was the private investigator. They just have this random lady walking around asking people these different questions, so it was kind of weird. But I was cleared to go, and 2 weeks before I left, my recruiter, he talked to me. He's like, hey, I got some bad news. And I'm thinking, like, did they find out something about me? Like, what did I do? Like, I'm starting to think about everything I had in my past. My parents are like looking at me like, what did you do? I'm like, oh shoot. So he's like, we don't have any more room, like any spots available left for that career field. So for the secret intelligence, I couldn't leave for boot camp because I wasn't able to do that. So we said, there's a couple different options we have. You can either just not go, or you can find a different field. And so he gave me a couple different options. I think one of them was as an engineering program. So I thought, okay, engineering, you know, smart people do that. End up, like, when they get out, you can make a lot of money doing that. So I thought, okay, well, I'll try that out. And a month later after that, he pulled that away from me too, said you can't do that. So I was like, okay. And then he gave me two more options. He said it was either this two, or I have to get out of the military because they don't have any spots available for me. It was either be a dentist, which, no offense to you guys, but if you're a dentist, that does not sound like the most fun thing in the world, just staring at people's mouths all day, especially serving in the military. Like, if someone were to ask me, like, what do you do in the military? I don't want to say, oh, I clean teeth. That would be kind of, you know, I wouldn't want to say that. So the other option was be a medic, like an emergency medic, you know, like, basically, if you go on convoys with, like, the army and stuff like that, you know, if they would hit, like, a roadside bomb, like, I would have to be trained to be able to save their lives and, you know, transport them to wherever they have to go. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever watched, like, the TV show MASH. There's, like, you know, an older TV show and a bunch of medics. That's basically kind of what I do in the military right now. But I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to lead up to that in a different commentary. But to get that job, I had to end up waiting another 6 or 7 months. I had to wait throughout the whole winter, wait till the next summer started up to leave for that job. So I had to find another job. I did like a valet parking thing. Not that that has anything to do with my commentary, but that's what I ended up doing throughout the whole winter. And I had to put my 2 weeks notice. And I know, about a month before I left for boot camp, though, my girlfriend that I've been dating for over a year broke up with me because she said she couldn't handle me being gone for that long, and she didn't know if she could wait, which that's total garbage. It's total bullcrap, guys. When a girl says that to you, just, you know, that's a bunch of lies or whatever. So anyways, I was kind of heartbroken. It was my first girlfriend I ever had, so I was kind of an emotional train wreck leading up to when I left, and I was kind of super depressed, not looking forward to going because I didn't know what I was gonna do. Like, I just, you know, my whole world was falling apart. Like, I was leaving everyone behind at home. And, you know, I ended up leaving that summer, got to the airport, and I showed up at the place where they pick you up to take you, like, they bus you over to, where they, you know, it's called Lackland Air Force Base, and had to bus us over there, and this short Mexican dude was just shouting out orders with an instructor hat on. Looks like, have you ever seen the Smokey the Bear? Like, one of those kind of hats, right, guys? And I was kind of, like, super nervous. I didn't know what was going on. This guy was scaring the crap out of me because he's shouting orders, and I didn't know what to do. So he's telling everyone to get on the bus, so I just, you know, got on the bus. And this kid on the bus and I'm kind of a shy kid, or I used to be anyways, and I was kind of listening to everyone talk about what they think is going to happen. This one kid thought he knew everything, so he was telling us, this is what you do, guys. Oh, this is what's going to happen, and all of us are trying to get ready for what to expect. But this kid could not have been more wrong. Nothing can prepare you for boot camp, guys, I'm telling you. The instructors are so off the wall crazy with the random things they do. It is just super intense, and I'm gonna finish talking about my experience in boot camp, probably my next commentary. I'm not sure if that's gonna be a Crisis gameplay, guys, because honestly, this is like probably the first green or even 2-bar connection I've had in like a couple of days. So it's getting kind of frustrating searching for games. I might just play some Halo, play some Happy Wars, try something else out. Hope you guys will watch that though. I'm gonna finish talking about all my experiences in boot camp and everything else leading up after that. But yeah, I just want to say thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.